Hi, welcome to the second clip of the first module of the Photoshop video editing tutorial. Now that we understand how to use the timeline, we're going to get started on our video editing project. First thing we must do is correctly set up our new document. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a new document for video, what size you should be working in, and what color mode to use. Then, I'll briefly go over what you need to know about different video formats, and we'll also learn a little bit about frame rates. Okay, let's get started. Every time you want to start a new project in Photoshop, you have to set up a new document. To do this, go to New, and a new window will open up. This is where you set up your document. First things first, you want to name your new document. Next, you can pick a document type, which will provide a number of preset options. Photoshop does have a film and video preset, so if you select document type, film and video, and go to size, you will see a number of presets. Many of these relate to specific video and broadcast formats, so feel free to use them if you're familiar with the settings. The standard preset for high definition video is HDTV 1080p. What this means is the height is set to 1080 pixels and the width is set to 1920. This is the standard aspect ratio for HD video, that is 16:9. You can of course use any size or aspect ratio you want, but if you are working with video from a camera or smartphone, the size you want to be working in is 16:9, which can either be 1080 by 1920 for HD or 720 by 1280 for standard definition. In addition, you could flip these dimensions to create a 9 by 16 aspect ratio to create a vertical video for smartphone use. Next is the resolution. This will default to 72 dpi in all video presets. If you're used to using Photoshop for print media or photography, you may be inclined to set that at 300 or 150. But there's no need for that high of a resolution because all video will export at 72 dpi. Next, we have color mode, which defaults to RGB color. Again, you may be used to working in CMYK, but that's for print media only and used to sync with your CMYK printers. For any web or video project, you want to use RGB. Finally, the last setting we must pay attention to is the pixel aspect ratio. Right now, it's set to square pixels. Some of the other presets will change this. However, these are mostly for television and broadcast, and unless you have a specific setting you must follow, it is always best to stick to square pixels, regardless of the size and aspect ratio you're working in. Once all these options are set, press Create and you're ready to go. Okay, now you're all set to begin your video editing project. But before we begin adding clips, I want to talk a little bit about video formats and frame rate, so we have a basic understanding of both going forward. Common video formats you might encounter include MP4, AVI, and QuickTime, or MOV. Without getting too technical, these extensions refer to certain kinds of video compressions, which are used for making videos smaller and in turn easier to upload or send to someone else. It's also important to pay attention to the frame rate of the video you're using. Some common frame rates include 29.97, 24, and 60. 29.97 is typically used for broadcast video, while 24 is more commonly used for web videos or animation. 60 is a standard frame rate for slow motion video. In the next clip, we'll begin importing videos into Photoshop for editing. Thanks for watching and see you next time.